If you're struggling with writing metal riffs, you have come to the right place. Before today, we're just going to go over how to make the metal riff, which in my opinion is like the very base of how to make a song, was how I do it. I start with a riff and build off it into a full song. First of all, you want to think about what genre of metal it's going to be. Is it going to be thrash, doom, alternative death metal, metalcore, anything like that? You just got to think about what the characteristics of that genre are and try to find a rhythm that fits it. Now there's two things that make a good metal riff, and that's rhythm and melody. Rhythm is extremely important because it can sort of determine which genre you're going to be, because different genres have different cliches. For instance, metalcore or thrash metal, extremely fast paced and a lot of this going on. And when you hear that, you think, cool, thrash metal, because that's kind of the characteristic of that genre. So you're going to have to think about that a little bit. And also, the rhythm, if you have a good rhythm, it makes it very easy to digest for the listener, because it will sound good. Because you could have a ton of theory being used and a ton of notes played really well, but no rhythm, and it won't sound as good as, say, if we just had a good rhythm and went. Alright, that's a good rhythm, but that could sound better than a ton of theory being used and no rhythm. So I'd say rhythm, you think about a little bit more than the actual notes being played, because of what I'm going to say now, and that is how to actually find a melody. Now you could just use the very standard 5-7-8, which is used in everything. I just used that in the demonstration of metalcore, or the metalcore riff, and that's used in basically every genre, everywhere. You'll find it everywhere. Now you could use theory and find a scale and use the notes from there and think of how you're going to play them that way. So say we're in F, I'm in drop C, so we'll be in F, F minor, yeah, that's F minor. And we can use that, so we'll have the first shape. We'll just use those notes for now. And that's kind of where that other riff is based from. That's harmonic minor though. And I think it's probably in a different key. But we use this, and then we extend it over the second shape. And I've just made a riff like that from using the scale. But I'm also going to show you the F around and find out method. So this method doesn't involve theory, thank God. Even though it's a good thing to learn, I recommend you would learn music theory. I'm learning it. It's helped a lot with writing music. You don't necessarily need it. So that's why I'm going to show you this. So it's going to stick with 5-7-8. I assume we'll make it a minor scale. And we'll extend it over here into the second shape. So we have the minor scale, and we're just going to play these notes, the selection of notes, in a random way, so that we get a riff that isn't the scale. So it just isn't. It isn't that. That's bad. So if we just go. Okay, and there's a little harmonic minor there. So that's the first section of the riff, first step. We have this now. Now that we have that bass melody, we can change the rhythm of that melody to make it more interesting and create space. So we can go. And now we have space for some extra things we can add. We could even take the melody, change it a little bit and put it into chords, so. Or maybe. So then we have something, maybe a verse, using the riff we had before. And now that we have this bass riff, we can use it as a motif and add some variation, so maybe some pitch harmonics, some chords with some disassociated notes, some scrapes. You can add anything you want really. So we have something like that, and that's much more interesting now as well. So we've taken this, or no, and we turned it into that with just a few simple steps, and we can expand upon that as well. Now you don't have to stay within this shape. So I've stayed pretty restricted within the minor shape. So we're going to explore outside. We're going to make a breakdown very briefly to demonstrate if you just have confidence, you can really play anything. Now you could, on the polar opposite, just have an open string and gallops. This is very, very, very popular, and it's great. Half-hand gallop. And have some little things, but it's mostly just open strings. But you can have different variation to gallop as well. Yeah, you get the idea. You can also just throw it all out the window and focus entirely on groove and how it makes the listener react. Like I explained in the beginning, sort of, with the rhythm, you can just have or something like that. But you can also, instead of having just chords, you can also have it as riffs. So there's two of my favourite riffs that I've made, and it's entirely based around the groove of it. So those are two riffs that are, when I was making them, I tried to base it entirely on the groove, because the first one was very repetitive, and the second one has long, long breaks of just rung out notes, and the open is rung out the entire time, and that makes them sort of a little bit dissonant in the other notes I'm playing, or with the other notes I'm playing, and that's an octave. And I use the octave and based it around that. So these were very simple examples of riffs, I know, but I'm still learning how to make incredible riffs, and the idea is there. You can apply it to any level of skill that you are or that you want your riff to be. But I'm just teaching you guys what has helped me make my riffs and what's helping me progress in making better riffs. Also, one last thing is that the drums and the bass are really important in making heavy riffs. Say for instance you have a really heavy riff, but kind of just normal basic drums, it's going to be okay. But once you improve those drums and add the bass in with maybe heavier drums, double kick and all that stuff that's used in metal a lot, then it's going to get a really heavy riff, and you're going to get more out of the riff than just a normal 4 to the floor and just 1, 2, 3, 4 bass. So that's how I make my riffs. If this helps you in making your riffs, then that'd be much appreciated if you go check out my other videos on music theory and subscribe so you don't miss when I upload, and I'll see you in the next one.